Hello, my most amazing artists. Today we are learning about proportion and scale. So scale is the size of things relative to each other, and proportion is size of things on an object that are set up correctly. So we're going to do a little bit of distorted proportions and a little bit of scale. So today's artwork is actually called The Dragon That Ate My Art Teacher, The Dragon That Ate Mr. Neville. So you're going to start at the bottom here with a pencil, or you could use a marker. And we're going to start by making the start of our bearded dragon. So we're going to start a little bit in and curve down almost to the side, right there to the bottom. And then we're going to curve up. We're going to make our bearded dragon's head. So we're going to curve up and in, and then what we're going to do is we're going to make the mouth real wide. So we're going all the way down to here, out, and then we're going to curve back. So there's our bearded dragon's mouth. Now we're going to make his arm, and his arm is going to kind of curve up really high. We're distorting the proportion to make his arm really long. Bearded dragon's arms aren't really that long. And we're going to go right next to that line and make another line. Like I said, we're distorting the proportion. We're stretching it out. Okay, and now we're going to just make his little belly coming off of this. So go over a little bit on the line and have his belly kind of come down. So now that we've got our part of our bearded dragon, we're going to have him holding your art teacher, Mr. Neville. We're going to come over right there, and that's going to be the bearded dragon's thumb. Then we're going to come just a little over and down from that, and we're going to make his two claws coming out, down. We're going to bump down and come over. Let's do one more. Let's do three. Okay, right like that, like he's holding something. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit behind, put a line right down from the thumb. We're going to have it go up and over and then down to the fingers. These are going to be Mr. Neville's hands. So right in the middle here, we're going to put a line that's Mr. Neville's arms. Right like that, and just a little bit down from the top. Now we're going to do Mr. Neville's hands, and they're going to be kind of a little bit cartoony. So we're going to kind of come out and then just do like three little bumps, just a little curvy line and back. So out, three little curvy lines, 1, 2, 3. We'll just have 3 fingers on Mr. Neville for this one. Okay, so now we're going to start with Mr. Neville's hair. So right underneath this, we're going to zigzag down a little bit, like almost like a zigzag half circle. And let's go ahead and connect. Make sure you connect the arms down to the head. So now we're going to put 2 ears. We're going to go ear, bump, bump on the sides, and then a little C inside of that. C, C. And now we're going to do Mr. Neville's beard. So we're going to go zigzag, make it really big so you got plenty of room to put details on the face. And now we're going to do the hairline, just the hairline. So we're going to start at the ear, zigzag up toward the top, and then down back to the other ear. Now before we do the rest of the beard, we're going to add the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. So add the eyes up pretty high, and Mr. Neville's kind of scared, so we're going to do ovals with a little dot in the middle. And if you have enough room up top, you can put little zigzags for Mr. Neville's eyebrows. And now we're going to do a bump for Mr. Neville's nose, so we're going to go down and do a little bump. Now in this part down here, we're going to do Mr. Neville's mouth, but we're going to have him kind of screaming. So we're going to put a line like that, and we're going to go out and down like that. Now we're going to put 2 bumps in the bottom, bump, bump for the tongue, and if you can, you can color in this little part and have just Mr. Neville's teeth right there. Alright, so now we're going to connect our beard with zigzags to the ear from the nose, zigzags. And now we're going to make Mr. Neville's tie. So we're going to have a diamond shape right underneath the beard. And you can have the tie go straight down, or you can have it curve a little bit. 2 lines that go out and then end with a zigzag at the bottom. And we're going to have just a little go down from the beard and up for the sides of the shirt. And we're going to go right from this line, we're going to go straight down, about halfway down the tie. And then we're going to connect it, but we're going to pretend like we go behind the tie. So now we're going to make Mr. Neville's legs. Now look, it looks like I'm kind of a little bit too far this way on the bearded dragon, but that's okay. Oh, I forgot to connect up here. I just saw that, so I'll connect. You always want to look back and see if there's anything you can do at the end. So I'm going to kind of curve the leg. So I'm going to go down, and I'm going to kind of curve it right here. I'm going to go down this way. I'm going to kind of curve the leg. And then in the middle, I'm going to go right down. And then I can kind of have it disappear into the mouth like that. So I'm going to have this leg come down, over. I kind of have it disappear. I'm going to kind of have the feet disappear into the mouth. Okay, so now that I got Mr. Neville, I'm going to add some details to my dragon. I'm going to add an eye. And this is our bearded dragon Biscuit. That's our glass bearded dragon. So I'm going to add an eye. I'm going to add some of his designs on him. So Biscuit has like a little white belly. So I'm going to come right here. This is his white belly. He has some scales. So I can come in and put some bumps for scales. And this is adding texture. And I can add even more scales as I go. I can add scales on his arm if I like. I could just add like just some little scales here and there just to show that he has scales like that. Maybe do that a little bit on the belly. Maybe a little bit scales on the bottom of the mouth here. Maybe I'll even add a little line for his nose. And let's give him some scales up here so I know he's got scales. So there's 2 ways I showed to do scales. One way is a little bit quicker, and when you color it in, maybe it gets a little bit more detailed. Alright, and I think maybe you could even add, if you got a little room, you could add the other bearded dragon looking on. So I'm going to add Gravy kind of looking at him. I'm just going to add Gravy right here. And his hand coming up. Alright, so at this point you can color in. Okay, like I said, just do your best. It's not going to be perfect, but I'm looking forward to it. I would color this in. I think I would color, because Biscuit is kind of brown, I would start with maybe like a tan, like this, and then add his little orange and brown stripes. So you can also color the background. And remember, we're talking about proportion and scale. So the scale change on this is Mr. Neville isn't to scale, because Mr. Neville is usually way bigger than the bearded dragons. But here we got the bearded dragons, and Mr. Neville's kind of small. You can even write the name of the assignment somewhere. The Dragon That Ate My Art Teacher. Alright, you guys, have fun with this assignment, and make sure you upload it to Schoology. Upload your picture to Schoology so I can see it. And make sure you add color in the background, and I will see you guys later. Have a great day.